Graduates, if you will please join us in standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Thank you. Good morning. I almost heard you. Good morning. I'm Allison Barber, Chancellor of WGU Indiana. Welcome to commencement of 2013. I hope you'll let me break form for just one quick moment of reflection. Under this oversized robe I have to wear, I'm a little giddy today. See, I remember 2010, our first commencement. And I remember standing on the stage similar to today. And I remember watching our graduates walk in similar today. But in 2010, that procession took 27 seconds because we had 7 graduates. And so today I am thrilled to watch 152 terrific, hardworking adults enter the stage. On your chair, you received a gift today. We thought you might bring your kids, so that's why the Smarties are in the cup. The cup signifies another important milestone for us at WGU Indiana because last Tuesday at 10:18, we graduated our 1,000th graduate. And that's a lot of progress in 3.5 years. But what I'm asking you to do is if you look at that cup and take that home, and when you look at that cup and you see WGU Indiana, 1,000 grads and growing, I'm going to ask you not to think about the milestone, although that's important for our state and for our individuals. I'm going to ask you to think about Hoosiers, hardworking adults who dared to dream a dream. And then we're committed to working hard to accomplish that dream. And that's what you've done today, and we're proud of you. Congratulations. You'll hear in just a minute from 4 of our graduates as they'll share their journey with you, and I'm looking forward to that. But before you hear from them, I want you to hear from our keynote speaker. Today, I'm thrilled to have Mike Langellier, the CEO of TechPoint and an advisory board member for WGU Indiana, speak to you today. Mike had his own, he's an entrepreneur, he started his own company and was able to sell that company, and then he has stayed in the technology space. I've invited Mike to speak for 2 reasons. Number one, he is a leader in our city, in our state, and our country. Mike has the vision and the commitment to make Indianapolis the marketing technology capital of the world, and he is doing that for us every day in this city. And the second reason is because Mike's a friend of WGU Indiana. I have not found anyone more supportive and encouraging as we've walked this path together. Mike appreciates our students, he appreciates our mission, and he respects the work that you have accomplished today. So please help me welcome my friend, Mike Langellier.
Thank you, Allison. Should I say Chancellor Barber? It's still giddy. As I've gotten to know you, I've seen your leadership and your passion, your persistence, your smarts, and your combination of professional polish and also personal approachability. And WGU Indiana is lucky to have you. And we're all here in the state and this city as well. You're lucky, we're lucky, because it takes these kinds of qualities to succeed in a startup. And I think of WGU Indiana as a startup of sorts. At its core, a startup is a young organization quickly growing and changing, filled with committed, passionate people, dedicating themselves to improving people's lives, capitalizing on an unmet opportunity in the market, and as a result, achieving uncommon success. After 6 years in the banking software industry, having worked my way up to a nice, safe, comfortable job at a large corporation, I left. I left with one of my colleagues that I convinced to leave with me. I left with a 2-year-old, a 2-month-old, and a wife at home. I left to start a startup. We built a personal finance and banking software platform called MyJob, akin to a Mint.com or a Quicken, if you're familiar, but better, obviously. That could distill down the complexities of your financial life into one number. What can I afford to spend right now without screwing something up? It also integrated the bank's online banking platform so that we could sell it to them and they could provide it to their customers, and that made it unique. Long story short, 18 months after leaving and starting it, while raising our first round of significant capital, we received 2 unsolicited acquisition offers. One, coincidentally, from a company out west in Utah, actually. That was the one that we accepted, so it ended in success. But despite that success, I remember the 18 to 20-hour days, the stress, the uncertainty. I remember waking up in pools of sweat, feeling as if I had an elephant on my chest. I remember worrying about if I can do this and be a good husband and father at the same time. I assume many of you have felt similar feelings as you have had to balance work and family responsibilities along with school at the same time. But I also remember the rush of victory, the thrill of success, the pride in achieving uncommon success. And I'm also living the incredible next chapter in my life made possible by this success. You today, through your startup of WGU Indiana, have achieved uncommon success. Few people have the capability and the fortitude to achieve what you've achieved. Extra exciting to me is that you join an increasing community of people in our state and in our city who have recently achieved uncommon success. Allison and several of you have heard me say on countless other occasions that we've looked back over the last just short 4 years or so and found at least 10, in my world, 10 tech companies that have either been acquired or had IPOs in the last 4 years alone. They've added up to $4.7 billion in market value achieved. Those companies, young companies, have created jobs for 3,500 people in that short amount of time. That means that we now have thousands of people, including you, with important skills, higher expectations, and a hunger to create, to succeed, to build the future. I want people like that in my community. So I'll leave with 4 things. Congratulations on your uncommon success. Be proud be an inspiration, and welcome to the next chapter in your life. Thank you.
I'm not quite so tall, so I can put that down. Did any of you guys have a problem ironing these things? Wow. Dear honored guests, fellow graduating students, mentors, teachers, families, friends, current students, and prospective students, welcome to the WGU Indiana graduating class of 2013. I began this journey over 34 years ago. I am by no means a spring chicken. I didn't know exactly what I wanted, but I knew I wanted to get my college degree. Growing up, we all have dreams. I was fortunate to have two. I either wanted to be a nurse or a teacher like my dad. Well, I didn't become a nurse, almost, but I was a paramedic for 30 years, fairly close. My decision to get my degree kind of dropped into my lap very unexpectedly. I had been sick for almost a year, and my job left me. I didn't know what I was going to do. My career of almost 30 years evaporated. And I discovered that I had no marketable skills other than being a paramedic. And I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to support my family? Well, one night while I was on the internet looking for jobs, I came across a banner that said, Governor institutes 8th State University. Well, that article was already 12 days old. It was June 28th when I looked at it, 2010. I clicked on that link, and the rest, as they would say, history. I've been fascinated with the idea of going to online school. I had looked at several others, but they were telling me what I should do. Oh, you should try this field of study. Well, that's not what I wanted. I wanted my education under my terms and the degree path that I wanted. So I was excited also that the cost was within my grasp. I was a newly single parent of 3 children. Where was I going to come up with, 5-digit expenses every year? And here it was a state university, so it was eligible for financial aid. Then I discovered that all those college credits that I'd earned many years ago were actually transferable. I had looked at other colleges. Even the college that granted me those college credits told me they had expired, and that my job experience had no bearing on whether or not I could get a college degree. I was very disheartened and very disappointed. But after talking with my enrollment counselor, I began to get very excited about going back to school. And when Jessica asked me when I wanted to start, I said immediately. Well, apparently 2 days is not enough time to get into the next program, even for her. She was really good. But on August 1st, 2010, I was officially a college student, again, after 31 years of leaving formal college education. I did my studies in the house when everybody else was asleep. That first semester was difficult because I had gotten sick again. I was afraid I wasn't going to finish that class that I was working on. I ended up in the hospital for a week, had surgery. Afterwards, I had IV infusions for 4 hours at a time, twice a day, for the entire month of January. Of course, my term ended January 31st. So I spent hours and hours using the hospital's Wi-Fi, thank God, and was able to get all my research for that PowerPoint presentation for IWT1. And it passed that last week before the end of my term, so hallelujah. Getting into cohort for my demonstration teaching was also challenging. Of course, I wasn't accepted the first time, but I appealed and I was accepted. But when I got that first rejection, I'll admit it, I cried. I'm like, no, you can't turn me down. But, there I was. After I had gotten accepted, then I started the task stream stalking. Did they pick up my task? Did it pass? I never got a speedy grader, ever. Was I going to have to do a revision again? Then that day came where I was fully accepted into my cohort and my demonstration teaching. It flew by so quickly. I discovered I loved being in the classroom. I didn't care who watched me, even my clinical supervisor. Sometimes I forgot she was even in the room. The students learned, I learned, even my host teacher and my clinical supervisor learned. It was a win situation. So that's what this is all about. The experience was life-changing, and every minute was worth it. Every night, the 2 a.m. crawling into bed, getting up at 6, off to school again. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it up every morning. I worked night shift for almost 30 years. So how was I going to get up and get to school and be able to face all those little shining faces and be able to do what I was supposed to do? By golly, I was going to do it. I got up every morning. I was only late once, and that was because of an insulin reaction. Oh well. But I managed to make it to school every day, even if I wasn't feeling well. I put on a happy smile for those kids because they deserved it. And I spent every evening and every weekend working to make sure that I was giving them a quality education that they deserved. And that's what I had been taught throughout my WGU experience. I created educational games, Jeopardy games for unit reviews, rummaged through all the materials that I have in my house. And trust me, my kids say I have plenty that something would make. I just reminded myself that once DT was over, I could finally sleep. So my goal was to finish in 3 years. So after 2 years and 8 months of coursework, 2 laptop computers, 1 hospitalization, 4 snow days after the last scheduled snow day makeup was in there, so I had an extra week of DT. I completed my degree. One of the most rewarding aspects of this journey was to see my son go back to college and start working on his degree, because apparently he thinks if mom can do it, he certainly can. And one final note. In January of 2011, there was a college mixer at a local coffee shop in Fort Wayne. It was well attended. Chancellor Barber was there, board member Linda Buskirk, and myself. Well, 2 years later, there was another college mixer in Fort Wayne at a local restaurant. We packed it. This shows you what WGU of Indiana has done for the residents and the citizens of the state of Indiana. Thank you very much.
I too have to move this because I'm very short. Good morning and welcome to Western Governors University and our commencement ceremony. It is my great honor to be standing before you and welcome Chancellor Barber, our keynote speaker, Mike Langellier, distinguished guests, faculty, family and friends, and you, the class of 2013. We, the class of 2013, thank you for your support throughout our journey, giving us your time, for motivating us, for your love and devotion while we had to have quiet time, and for reminding us to take a break and enjoy life for a while. 33 years ago, I began a journey I believed would be a breeze. Attend college for 4 years and show everyone that I could graduate and become someone special. During those first few years, I began to realize that it wasn't going to be easy. One trial after another arose, and I had to leave school time after time. Over the years, I have attempted to finish what I began all those years ago, to prove to others that I was more than just the kid of the town drunk. I stand here today humbly and realize what a naive girl I was. A very wise woman and actress, Viola Davis, recently said at a commencement ceremony, "The 2 most important days of your life are the day that you were born and the day you find out why you were born." You may veer off course, but all that while, that purpose, that one thing that you were specifically and divinely made for will be looming in front of you. I think of her words and realize that that naive young girl of 18 really didn't know much about herself. The most important day of my life became clear to me when I had my first few talks with my student mentor. Her dedication and inspirational attitude drove me to take a hard look at myself, and I finally realized that I was born for a purpose. That purpose was to help others like myself who has battled so much and don't know where to turn to for help. It is my hope that my story will help others realize that they too can survive no matter the obstacles or demons they are facing. Through the years, I have survived child abuse, spousal abuse, watched my husband go off to war, battled cancer, had brain surgery, 5 knee surgeries, helped my daughter overcome her drug addiction, and during my time at WGU, survived 5 heart attacks, lost a brother, and fought 2 custody battles for my granddaughter. During every trial laid at my feet, I persevered and made it through. We've each had our trials and in our own situations that tried to tear us down, but we all stood tall, and that is what has brought us here today. I stand before you today, a master's graduate, ready to give inspiration to others. After those first few talks with Lee Nave, my student mentor and now my friend, I now know I was born to inspire others. Inspiring others is not showing a person who they should be, it is showing them who they already are. We all have a reason for being here today, and I sincerely hope that my story inspires each of you to look within yourself and find your reason for being born. We breeze through some classes and even tame the beast, better known as financial analysis. It's true, it was a beast. We sacrificed time with our family, missed nights of sleep, and spent many days waiting for evaluations to come back, fearing that when they did, it would say needs revisions. Today, you and I begin a new journey, a journey of discovery fraught with trials, a journey that WGU has prepared us for. It took me 33 years to get here, but I made it. I ask you all and myself to leave here today and remember these words of Benjamin Franklin. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I may remember. Involve me and I learn. We are here today because our mentors didn't teach us what to dream, but how to dream, as they encouraged and acknowledged our strengths and potential. What we learned while attending WGU will create a ripple effect that will influence others throughout the world. Today, I challenge not only you, but myself as well, to use these lessons we've learned, our own individuality, creativity, and passion, to create our own ripple effect, to create a positive effect in ourselves, our communities, and our world. You did it. Go out and inspire others to do the same. Thank you and congratulations, 2013.
Is everybody awake? I want to thank WGU, Chancellor Barber, all the WGU people, all the class of 2013, and all the families and friends and supporters for being here. My name is Randal Frietzsche, and by the age of 45, I had spent a lifetime working my way up the ladder, one slow rung at a time. I had gained experience and skills, IT certifications, and other important credentials, but I found my career progressing at a very slow pace. I had tried several times in the past to complete my degree. Something always got in the way. Work, money, time, or other commitments, which kept me from committing to a brick and mortar experience. I had a friend that got his bachelor's and master's from WGU, and he raved about the university, how it was very affordable, how it was completely online, and competency-based. He talked to the value of acceleration, where you can run as fast as you can through the program, and your student mentor stands ready with a much-needed bottle of water at each passing lab. So on New Year's Eve of 2012, I sat in evaluation of my life and became determined once and for all to reach that finish line. The experience at WGU was very rewarding, but the coursework was also very difficult. I was kept steady on my feet by my mentor. My mentor is Mary Gordon. Where's she at? Mary Gordon is a rock star and helped me greatly. Not only was she one of the nicest people that I've ever met, but she brought a stability and a consistency of purpose into this process, which was like a lighthouse for a weary sailor. The program was also very exhilarating and completely exhausting. My brain melted down many times. I'm sure you can all relate to that. The competency-based course of study wasn't just challenging, it took me to the very limits of my mental and intellectual capacity. But in this program, I realized that those limits are not set in stone. Those limitations were expanded through hard work and persistency. I met each challenge in terms of work schedule, money, time, and all other commitments. I did 83 credits in 3 6-month terms and finally finished my bachelor's in IT in July of this year. Along the way, I faced many of the same challenges I had before. A workload in excess of 60 hours a week, family commitments, volunteer and professional activities. But I discovered 3 key things were invaluable in my success at WGU and in my career. Number 1, learn to maximize your time that you have. Get the most of your time that you spend in your study or in your job. Limit your distractions as much as you can and work to get your productivity as high, and don't hesitate to give yourself a break, mental and physical. I learned to play Angry Birds in my 10-minute break. It was just a mental break I had to have. Let's figure out what works best for you. Number 2, set goals. I looked at each class and broke it down. I set a goal to complete a chapter a night or 3 chapters a week. After a while, I set a goal to complete 3 classes in a month. This mindset gave me a measuring stick. I knew if I was on track or not. I could stay up an hour later if I needed to catch up or read a chapter over lunch hour. By having smaller goals, it didn't seem so overwhelming. I was able to have many small successes along the way. And as you know, we've all done this. We all had to take it step by step. They say, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. That's what the course of study looked like when I first started. How in the world am I ever going to do this? And I just had to take it step by step. Open that first chapter. Read that first line. Get that far. Just going step by step. Read the first chapter, took the first assessment, then I started the second. Chapter by chapter, assessment after assessment, class after class. This methodology gave me the focus and quick accomplishments needed to keep driving towards the end. And number 3, realize that you're making an investment in yourself and in your family. Each hour, each minute you spend reading, doing assignments and assessments is literally an investment which pays dividends. Once you're done, once you graduate, no one can take that away from you. Where else can you literally give yourself a gift with every task that you're doing, every chapter that you read, and every course that you complete? Thomas Edison has been attributed to saying there is no substitute for hard work. I found this to be very true. It is your education, it's your life, and it's your family. Excuses only hurt you. There is no substitute for just putting your head down and doing the work, whatever it takes to get through it. But do it smart. Set goals, and understand that your career and your family will benefit in the end. Now that we have our degrees, the ladder isn't so steep. The competency we have been able to display with our education at WGU is a big value for an employer. The drive, determination, organization, and sheer willpower to get things done, these are critical characteristics needed in this program. They are equally valued by employers. The ability to get through a project, to accomplish goals, continue to grow in your skills and knowledge are valued by all employers. My advice to you today is to recognize that in yourself. Recognize that ability in yourself. Realize the gravity of what you've accomplished here. And then go out and tell the world. Sell yourself and your abilities. You have demonstrated not only the competency for the degree, but also the drive, determination, time management, goal setting, just to get through the program. Pat yourself on the back for this accomplishment. Be proud of yourself for achieving this milestone. The odds were probably against you. You rose to that occasion. You didn't take no for an answer. You overcame all the same old obstacles. We're hearing the same stories over and over. And you came out on top this time. This degree is yours now. No one can take it away from you. Now go out and climb that ladder with confidence. I recommend that you not only your education, but your networking with other people. Use LinkedIn, use social media, make contacts in your industry. professional associations. I have to finally thank my family for their patience, love, and support as I spent so many hours away from them. As a husband and a father, I could not have a more beautiful and special family. I love you. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, thanks to all of you for coming today. I'm Greg Zobel, and I'm receiving my degree in health informatics today. As I listened to Chancellor Barber, Mike, and the student speakers, that I looked at the title to the speech, A Journey to a Dream. That they spoke of a journey and they spoke of dreams. I'm going to talk about the journey to my degree and my dream and how quotes I found along the way were utilized as motivation. The first quote is, sometimes on the way to a dream, you get lost and find a better one. I found this quote my very first day at WGU. I used that quote to complete 73 credit hours in 11 months. I was in healthcare, and I loved and I excelled at what I was doing. 2 hospitals merged into one, and a 5-minute phone call changed my career and family life in ways that I could not imagine. I believe that quote not only applies to me, but all of the graduates here today. While all of our paths are certainly different, we all have the hope of a better dream today. For some, this master's degree may be just for career advancements. Others, it's keeping a long ago promise that we made to ourselves, family, friends, or a spouse. Others are simply seeking a career change. Some are simply searching for the security a college degree can provide. My mother has said, college does not cost, college pays. I decided for me this degree was going to present new opportunities. The day I began my new career, my wife said, would you do anything differently? And I told her, it's time to go chase happiness. That quote has become one of my favorites. I'd like to re-examine the first quote. Sometimes, on the way to a dream, we get lost and find a better one. Sometimes means that life is not conducted on our plan. Sometimes we are able to achieve things we cannot imagine. Last October, I was a CAT scan technologist. A few weeks ago, I was offered and accepted the position of Director of Health Information at Rush Memorial Hospital. On the way, it is cliche to say life is a journey and there are detours, road hazards, or unexpected surprises. I had a great mentor that always said, we always choose the way. She was a mentor in my clinical career. That was Gina Bonner. She said, we always choose the way. I decided that detour was going to be in all of my perception, and it has led to unforgettable memories. To a dream. It is the hope that motivates and inspires us all. My dream was to show my 2 children the best way to respond to adversity and challenges. I'm sure many of us have heard the quote, life is not measured by the number of times you get knocked down, but the number of times you get up. I'm going to take that quote a step further. Not only do you get back up, you get back up stronger than ever before. You show those people, I did it. You get lost. Some graduates today may have gotten lost on that traditional track. Others may have gotten lost with 60-hour work weeks or simply just life and did not get a chance to complete that next degree. Others, like me, maybe have discovered that it was simply time to embrace a new challenge and find a new one. It is my hope for all of us graduates here today that you have found your new dream. Maybe it is a better career that simply allows you to go on that dream vacation. Self-fulfillment and finally completing that degree could be another path. I am fortunate that I have found my new dream through the opportunities my education has given me at WGU. For me, it is truly time to go chase happiness. In conclusion, I would like to thank the people that have helped me along this journey. First of all, and most importantly, my wife. This journey would have been impossible without you. Secondly, my kids who helped her out and were so understanding along the way. I'm glad we're making up some of the time that's been lost the last 11 months. Others include my student mentor, Hope Cole, Dr. Christine Kowalski, the Dean of Health Informatics, and all of the course instructors along the way. Karen Meyer, CFO at Rush Memorial Hospital, for sharing my vision and passion to the next step of my career. I would also like to thank Ted Mitchner and Cindy Rufer at St. Vincent Anderson, who gave me my start down this path. Thank you, and congratulations to all the graduates.
Thank you, graduates, for sharing your stories. Would the candidates for the master's degrees please rise? Lori, upon the favorable recommendation of our faculty and the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and member governors of Western Governors University, I hereby confer upon you the master's degrees you have earned, to include the Masters of Arts, the Masters of Arts in Teaching, the Masters of Arts in Business and Business Administration, the Masters of Education, or Masters of Science. You've earned the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. Congratulations. You may now be seated, and by row will come up and you'll receive your hood. Today, our master's students will receive their hood from the provost of WGU, who's flown in from Salt Lake City, David Leisure. And I told our students, our graduates, a minute ago back in the back room, that if there's an extra high five or a holler or a hug, it's because we have several WGU Indiana employees receiving their masters today. But that's your invitation to clap and scream for whoever you'd like to clap and scream for, because it's a big day of celebration. Our master's graduates will receive a hood bearing the color of their discipline. We'll invite the first row of master's students to come forward.
Stephanie Thompson. Makisha Crane. Amy Lopez. Gregory Lips. Crystal Kuntz. Rebecca Lynn Sanders. Christine Gruner. Laura Betzinger. Michael Tigges. Katie Brown. Jennifer Barlow. Leslie Dillon. Ashley Dalton. John DeCook. John Adika. Demetrius Dillard. Perry Wolf. Craig Hills. Lindsay Brubaker. Aaron Clowney. Anitris Green. Melinda Ragsdale. Lloyd C. Spicer, Jr. Marilyn Pizzulo. Kathleen Stern. Costandina Skimos. Elena Hubanks. Leanne Myers. Aaron Kozlowski. Robin Kane. Jason Bush. Dallas Mudd. Adrian Dalton. Giovanna. Thank you. Caitlin Paul. Giovanna Monier. Ryan Work. Donald Gage. Dan Siddons. DeCarla Ford. Kelvin Chishimba. Aw. Kevin Easton. Tracy Scott. Colleen Lytle. Jill Bertram. Lakeisha Hairston. Terry Stigdon. Stephanie Norman. Patricia Westner. Arlene Gant. Julie Sylvester. Linda Steiner. Alan Newbold. Megan Henson. Leah Felger. Thank you. Patricia Richwine. Zoe Burns. Elissa Downey. Barbara Rose. Rana Hunter. Say your last name. Nicole Burns. Mark Doherty. Dallas Williams III. Patrick Sweeney. Nadine Murphy. Jane Carwile. You can go up to the step. Kaylee Lepper. Rachel. Rachel Ingram. Tammy Phillips. Vaughn Oshie. Megan Hostetler. Summer Ball. Antonio de la Rosa. Autumn Meeker. Henry Meeker. Leroy Stryker. Jillian Litke. Allison Grusbeck. Samantha Dominique. Adeniki McKenday.
I didn't know Adeniki was going to be last. Adeniki has been my right hand at WGU Indiana for 3 years, and our success is her success. And so, sorry for the emotion. Would the candidates for bachelor's degrees please rise? Upon the favorable recommendation of our faculty and the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the member governors of Western Governors University, I hereby confer upon you the bachelor's degrees or endorsements you have earned, to include the Bachelor's of Arts, the Bachelor of Science, or the Post-Baccalaureate Teacher Preparation Endorsement, with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. You may now move your tassel from the right to the left of your mortarboard. Congratulations on your success. Please be seated and come forward one row at a time.
Erica Taylor. Randal Frietzsche. You can go up to the step. Greg Zobel. Wendy Zimmerman. Sarah Gray. Catherine Heemer. Cassie Owens. Jennifer Pummel. Laura Raymond. Michelle Bradmiller. Angela Greenberg. Christy Lee. Kimberly Herndon. Cham Rathnayaka. Go to the step. Amanda Musa. Amelia Thies. Aaron Davis. Ariel Thompson. Tina Copeland. Alicia Pearson. Jennifer Lester. Angela Rosa. Timothy Stubbs, Jr. Michael Steffi. Janet Lee. Julie Deering. Patrick McLean. Christina Miller. Christina Belter. Lori Slaughter. Karen Davis. Paul Yurchak. Carl James. Jerry Thomas. Peter Van Balen. Gary Clevenger. Amanda Buttram. Jessica Radisky. Lori Wardwell. Bryn Meanior. Brooke Bowling. Renita Kinneman. Richard Riggle. Bernadette Clark. Jean McVeigh. Debbie Bennett. Constance Bickle. Emily Schmaltz. Mary Jo Eaton Calhoun. Edwin Massey. Aaron Sane. James Montgomery. Shiriyar Khan. Miguel Rosales. Paul Adam Salmon. David Lund. Brent Walls.
How about one more round of applause for all of our graduates? And graduates, how about if I give you a chance to thank your family, friends, mentors, and enrollment counselors? Congratulations. WGU Indiana doesn't work without the world's best enrollment counselors and the world's best mentors. It's a big team of people who care deeply about you and your success. You dared to dream a dream, and today it's come true, and we wish you the best. So in closing, before I close, I do want to thank Dr. Linda Gunn for helping me pass out the diplomas today. In closing, I'm going to ask our graduates of 2013 to please stand, just the graduates. And as we recess today, we are going to have the vocalist sing a song that is a dedication to you and your new journey and to recognize your great work. After the graduates leave the room, we'll invite family and friends and our WGU Indiana team to join us in the reception hall right next door. Thanks for being a part of today. This is our best day at WGU Indiana, and you've made it so. Thank you.
I used to think that I could not go on, and life was nothing but an awful song. But now I know the meaning of true love. I'm leaning on the everlasting arms. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. See, I was on the verge of breaking down. Sometimes silence can seem so loud. There are miracles in life I must achieve. But first I know it starts inside of me. If I can see it, then I can be it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. 'Cause I believe in me. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. Oh, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. Oh, I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly.
I can fly.
If I just spread my wings, I can fly.
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 If I just spread